Be warned. I'm wearing my Be Warned shirt because there are a lot of rumors going around the internet about me. Maybe not a lot, maybe just a smidge. But when a major nationally syndicated radio show talks about you disparagingly, and I admit it wasn't too bad, they weren't too harsh on me, so I'm not going to be too harsh on them. Don't worry about it. This is just to let my subscribers on my channel, youtube.com/hoaxhunter, know that I'm going to be doing 2 response videos. It takes a lot of time to make and edit a video. It takes many hours, and I'm somewhat of a perfectionist. I like to focus on the facts. Just the facts. You see, some people have called me a bad journalist or fake news. Guess what? Those people are one person. And I'm going to do a response to them. But I've never claimed to be a journalist. I'm a small YouTuber. But I'm an independent investigator. And I focus on the facts, nothing but the facts. So my responses are going to be just quotes of actual facts with dates next to them, with the name next to it. If the quote doesn't have a date and a name next to it, I don't consider it worthwhile. I don't consider it valid. And even when I see something like that, I like to research it and double check, do my own extreme vetting process of any information that I come across. My channel is 100% anti-fake news, against fake news. You can check any of my videos, will see. Sure, I talk about a story, an anecdotal story that happened to me, but never, ever, when it comes to hoaxes, will I mention anything that's fake news. Hoaxes I consider to be a subject to be approached with a scientific mind, from a scientific perspective, with an investigative mind, with a Sherlock Holmes, let's look at the facts, let's see where that goes. And I stand by my final conclusion John Titor video, 100%. I had to fill in some gaps, most definitely. But the facts concerning quotes of exact emails with exact dates, with exact names next to them, remain facts. You can't sweep under the rug an exact quote with an exact name, with an exact date from an email that you have a screenshot of. It can't be called a rumor. It can't be called a myth. It can't be called hearsay. It can't be called speculation. An exact quote with an exact date with a screenshot is about as factual as it gets. But in no way, shape, or form am I going to go after anyone's family, go after anyone. Don't worry about it. The be warned is just don't call me fake news. The be warned is just lay off my tiny YouTube channel. Seeking truth and exposing lies has been my goal from day one. Avoiding fake news has been my goal since day one. I'll tell you one thing, just because I have fantastical subjects like time travel and ghosts, in no way, shape, or form do I get my information from places like Disclosed TV. Disclosed TV is a piece of crap. Disclosed TV is an example of fake news. Disclosed TV tried to steal one of my videos. They downloaded my crop circle video. And I don't talk about aliens in my crop circle video. Guess what I talk about in my crop circle video? I say that man makes crop circles. They're man-made. That's what I say in my crop circle video. Guess what I say in my chemtrails video? In my chemtrails video, I say it's simply cloud trails. It's simple condensation of the moisture in the air off the wingtips. That's a fact. Crop circles are made by man. That's a fact. You see the repeating pattern here. I focus on facts. I could go on and on. If you know nothing about the spiritual, if you don't believe in ghosts, consider them higher dimensional entities. But that's a totally different subject for another time. So I'm going to be doing 2 responses. One response, the Jimmy Church Fade to Black show mentioned me. Now, that's a pretty major show. Jimmy Church is the apprentice, I heard on Twitter, to George Norrie. No one can dispute George Norrie is the #1 paranormal late-night radio show, or at least it used to be. I'm sure it's going to be replaced by Jimmy Church, and maybe it'll be way better. I don't know much about Jimmy Church. I've only listened to about 15 minutes of his show, and those 15 minutes are talking about me. So that's why I'm going to do a response. That video can be seen. YouTube it. Fade to Black, Jimmy Church, Larry Hebert. Maybe even John Titor is in there. You'll see the video on the official Fade to Black YouTube page. And I'm going to do a response to that because it's a major syndicated radio show that perhaps, I don't know how many millions of listeners they have, or they just have 1 million. I don't know. But that's quite a big amount of people concerning my channel with less than 5,000 subscribers. Speaking of subscribers, subscribe. I'm editing 2 response videos right now. I'm going to be respectful of Maury Hebert. I'm going to be as respectful as I possibly can be to Larry Hebert. As far as Jimmy Church, the guy has a grudge against me, and has before I ever heard of him. Someone tweeted me about Jimmy Church. We're talking like 10 months ago. They actually were tweeting Jimmy Church. They just tagged me in the tweet. Jimmy Church referenced me maybe 2 or 3 times. And they were negative tweets about me. And this is before I ever heard of him. I went on his thing. Maybe I Googled it. 2 people tweeted me about it, private messaged me about it. And yeah, so I knew about the show. And Mike Suave, I knew he was going on to talk about me. But I never listened to that show. Perhaps, if I ever do listen to that show, I will give a response to that show. I assumed they would say I don't know what I'm talking about. Because I heard that they don't like me. And so maybe it's a rumor. Maybe that's not true. But I like to verify things, so I will watch that interview, listen to it, whatever the case may be. New episodes coming soon. This is unedited. Errors and mistakes. I'm not a perfect person, but one thing I do focus on is truth and facts. Just the facts, ma'am. 100% focusing on the facts. Check out my videos. There will only be 2 John Titor response videos. Unless there's any major syndicated people talking about me, I might do a response to them. For example, a major radio show had a John Titor guest on. He was actually John Titor 2. The guy who pretty much, in my opinion, hijacked the John Titor story and slapped 2 on it. It would be the equivalent of me opening up a restaurant called McDonald's, selling cheeseburgers, and slapping 2. Oh no, this isn't McDonald's. This is McDonald's 2. Totally different thing. You know, like that Coming to America movie, McDougal's or something. Anyway, so stay tuned. This is just an upload from my iPhone. Not a big deal. Just want to keep my subscribers informed. I do know what's going on. I will respond to everything that's going on with exact quotes, with exact dates, and with names to prove this is what's going on. And I'm going to have to say I disagree with that, or maybe I agree with that. You know, it's my opinion on this and that. As far as my final conclusion, Hoax Hunter John Titor video, I'm not going to take it down. I won a YouTube case of it attempting to have had been taken down. And YouTube said the video doesn't violate any of its guidelines. So I thank YouTube for that. I really appreciate that, YouTube. Stay tuned. More videos coming soon, not just Hoax Hunter, Occult Unmasked, Pyramidical. I'm going to do an episode on Max Headroom. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Max Headroom, just facts about the Max Headroom series from 1987. I like to focus on facts. I like to dissect things with a really analytical mind. A lot of people are, or some people are offended by that. But yeah, I was invited on a radio show to talk against John Titor 2, as I guess the rebuttal to the guy. I actually talked to John Titor 2 on Midnight in the Desert many months ago. About the same time frame I first heard of Jimmy Church, about 10 months ago. 8, 9 months ago. And John Titor 2 didn't like what I had to say because I was saying he was a hoax. And he said, "We're done." And so I'm guessing perhaps the host of that show, which is a major radio show, I think is hosted by a huge talent, a good guy. He chose against bringing me on. He bumped me at the last second. This is a common thing that happens on radio shows. You get bumped on a regular basis. I don't make YouTube videos to be invited on radio shows. So if you don't want me on your radio show, that's totally fine, totally cool. I might talk about that guy. He's a cool guy. But until then, 2 response videos coming soon. This has been John Razimus with youtube.com/hoaxhunter. Be seeing you.